Chairman. Thank you, Congressman, for wanting to take this on. You and your family, largest healthcare system in the world. If that's not eye-opening, I don't know what is. We've had a lot of people tackle this job, and it is a hard job, and it's very, very important. I grew up in a military family, been to many, many VAs, and we have some good ones in Alabama, but it's amazing to me that, that we look at this, and it's, again, second largest budget that we have here in Congress, second largest behind the DOD. But it's really not about money. I think about and look at all this in a different perspective sometimes. It's about people running what you have. And we're run by unions, and there's obviously some good and some bad, but we got to find the problem, because we got to, more and more of our veterans are adding up. We have almost 500,000 just in the state of Alabama alone. And it's a big problem that we can't take care of all of them. Now, when I first got here and got on this committee 4 years ago, one of the first things that we did, President Trump had eliminated 4,000 people. He didn't care what they were in. If they didn't do their job, they got fired. He took 4,000 of them and sent them out the door. Well, the Biden administration come in, the first thing they did is they rehired them and back pay and put them in a situation where a lot of them had really breached protocol. Now, I come from a previous profession. If you didn't do right, you were gone. Will you commit to doing what's right for the veteran when it comes to the personnel that are handling these people? We can talk about acts and laws and bills and all this. It ain't gonna make a damn bit of good unless we get the people that's running these VAs and these homes that take care of our veterans. We don't get the best. Will you commit to that?
Senator, thank you for that. I mean, your last day was not just your profession, but I think every other profession in the world expects accountability. And I think that's what raises the standard. So yes, we're going to have accountability. The VA Accountability and Whistleblower Act, which by the way, passed unanimously out of the Senate, its intent was to make sure that those workers who were not fulfilling their mission, they were not going to take a job anymore. I intend to make sure that this is a promise that I have, is that if there is someone who is harming or in the way of our veteran and taking a veteran's benefit away, I have no problem in getting rid of that person and making sure we do it properly. And I have no problem with the legal repercussions of that, because there's no one at the VA going to stand in the way of a veteran getting the care properly. And if they're not doing it safely, which we saw many of those were not doing it safely and putting our veterans in harm's way. But I will say it again, and I think you would agree with me. I will be the biggest cheerleader for every VA employee out there who is out there getting up every morning, doing it right, making sure we're taking care of our veterans. But I believe the only way I can make them better, the only way I can push them, is to not allow those not to do it. So we have to have that accountability. This body passed it unanimously. It is about raising standards. It's about saying that we're going to expect the best and we're going to require the best. Because if I want to retain doctors, if I want to retain nurses, if we want to retain benefits people, then you got to set a standard that says, I'm proud to be here. And for me, I want to lead an agency that works and puts our veterans first and holds accountable those that have not.
Awesome. 2023, it was reported to us, some of our VAs, especially our community care systems, were funding illegal aliens, healthcare. Would you please look into that once you take this office?
Yes, Senator, I will. I do not believe any money that's taken outside the mission of the VA to help the veteran is a worthy cause of the money that has been appropriated for the veteran, and we will not be doing that.
You know, we were given a budget shortfall just back last July. We were called and told by the administration that we're $3 billion short, and we had to come up very, very quickly, or we were going to default in the VA. You can imagine how frustrated we all got with that when we found out that we actually had a surplus. I would hope that we take better care of what we do with our money and we know where it's at. Also, one thing before I go off here, and I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this back when we met, electronic health care. Nobody's told you this, $20 billion on updating our VA's electronic health care records over the last decade. The Department of Defense completed their update, yet the VA has nothing to show for the $20 billion. Houston, we got a problem.
Houston, Atlanta, D.C., everywhere else we have a problem. That is not acceptable. That's one of the things that we're going to, as we've said earlier, and we talked about this earlier, we're going to have to get into very quickly, put every player on the table to make sure that we're getting it right from the VA perspective and from the from Oracle perspective as it's currently held. DOD and VA are very different, but also, as I said before, we're special but not unique. What we can do can be done, and there's ways that we can look at that, and I think Senator King talked about ways that we can let's do what we can do. We're going to get that right. Even up here, 8 years and that much money and no results, only 5 places, I believe, actually still is not acceptable.
Thank you.